Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Brent. We are now on episode 15 of Wrestling with Brent. Can't believe it's been 15 episodes. I've really enjoyed doing these reviews and doing these episodes. I know I don't get a lot of views and stuff, but or any comments hardly, but any feedback from people. But I just hope people like it, and I'm gonna keep doing it. I just like doing it. I think it's a lot of fun. Nice little hobby. I just like doing it. So. As I said a while back, I'm not going to review NXT, even though it was good last night. And they had the big takeover event this Sunday. I'm not going to be reviewing that. I'm just not going to review NXT. I'm not going to take the time to do it and put in the effort to do it. And it's just because it's just not worth it, in my opinion. But yes, I did watch NXT. I still watch Raw. I still watch SmackDown. Um, Raw was god awful again Monday night, ridiculous. Um, and NXT good. I really enjoyed AEW last night. Well, I should say night before last episode. Um, really quick, I'm going to talk about the latest Ring of Honor tournament round of the Pure tournament that came on Saturday. Was very good. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna do a quick review of that, and then I'll go and do AEW from the other night, and I'll try not to be too long. Um, so bear with me, please. Um, all right, so here we go. Um, Ring of Honor. They did the nice video packages again for both matches. Um, Block A first round match was Fred Yehai, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, versus Silas Young. Um, this is the first time I saw Fred Yehai. I was very impressed with him. I thought he did really good. I thought him and Silas had a good match. I thought this was very interesting. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was very competitive and back and forth. I really liked it. Um, and Yee, I think, has a lot of potential. I think he should. Can't wait to see him wrestle more and see what more he can do. I just really like him. I liked his size, very athletic. I liked the way he wrestled. I liked the way he moved. Um, you know. And before, when I first started watching Ring of Honor, I gotta admit I wasn't very high on Silas Young. But the more I've watched him over the last couple of years, he's really grown on me. Yes, he's older, but I just think just for his age and just his look and everything in general, he does a really good job. Um, Especially the way his character, the way he presents himself with the last real man, he's kind of dirty. A while back, he was doing like this. I believe it was Josh Woods he was training. I believe that's who he still is training. Where he was saying like he's a technical master, I'm gonna teach you technical moves, and then he's doing like little dirty tricks and stuff. So I like that whole concept, and I think he's a good wrestler, especially being as older looking as old as he is. I believe he's older, but very good for his size and everything. Um, so I'm a fan of his as well. Um, so, like I said, this was a very good matchup. Go into a little bit of detail on it. Young at an Indian deathlock, but Young used his first of three allotted rope breaks. Yi pushed Young with a series of knee strikes in the corner to his face and chest. Yeehaw trapped Young in a Koji clutch. Young tried to escape, but Yeehaw countered into a crucifix for a 2 count. Young rallied with a tornado DDT off the middle rope for a 2 count. He followed with a superplex running knee and an anarchist suplex. Yi caught Young for the inside cradle for a near fall. Young went for the Milwaukee plunge, but Yi moved and Young landed on his feet. Yi stopped Young's foot, swept his leg, and trapped him in an inside cradle to score the upset at third. Score the upset. Um, Yi had managed to block a semifinals against the winner of next week's match between Tracy Williams and Russ Taylor. Like I said, this was a very good match. I was surprised even in announcers, Ian Riccaboni and Chris Coleman sounded surprised. I was surprised that Silas Young got beat. But I thought Yeehaw was deserted. I thought he just did a really good job. And I thought Young did a good job in getting him over. Apparently, this is what this was. Um, so I enjoyed it. I liked it. Thought it was very good. Video packages included. I want to say too for this episode, I thought Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman did a great job in acting this whole tournament. I've really enjoyed their commentary the last couple of years since I've been watching Ring of Honor a lot. Um, like I said recently, I really think Chris Coleman's my favorite announcer in the whole business right now. He never says anything stupid, and he says very smart stuff and very insightful stuff, and he just has great knowledge, and he talks to you like he knows what he's talking about, but he's not like a smart but like a know-it-all, and he's not cocky or anything. He doesn't necessarily put none of the wrestlers down, and he doesn't make anything seem fake or phony. He makes things seem realistic, and Uh, he's not like in WWE where things are over scripted. Um, they have to tell him what to say, and they just make some of the wrestlers, even people that wrestled before, Samoa Joe, I think does a really good job announcing, but they even have him saying dumb stuff from time to time. Uh, and so I just, so I think, yeah, Ring of Honor is a good too. They just make a good team together calling the matches, and I just really like their commentary. Ian Ring of Honor is good too, but yeah. Uh, All right, so that's all for that first round match. Now we got Block B, first round match. Josh Woods, they call him the Goods. Josh the Goods Woods versus Kenny King. Yep, as I had just they did a video too, and it was really good. A lot of people I know, just like online and in general, seem to don't like Kenny King or don't think much of him. They think he's just kind of a I don't know if it's nice, but like a preliminary wrestler, a scrub, a warm up guy match. I've been a fan of. I started watching Kenny King and Ring of Honor. I just liked his matches. I liked his stuff when he was in Impact for a short little bit. When I watched Impact a little bit, I just think he's very athletic. I like his promos. I like his moves. He's got some cool moves. He can put on some good matches. I just think he's a talented guy. Um, I know Jim Cornette went in a rant a few years ago on a podcast about him. Cornette hates him, and he had said last week on his recent podcast episode that it was the drummer. He said that he won't be watching this part of the tournament because Kenny King's in it. He said you'd have to. He said you couldn't pay him for all the money in the world or anything to get him to watch a Kenny King match. I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah. But I like Kenny King. A lot of people don't personally, but I like him. I like Josh Woods as well. Um, Josh Woods is also very talented. He's got a really cool look. I like his tattoos, and he's built, muscular, and strong, and athletic, and he's tough. And I like his street fighting, brawl, MMA kind of style that he has, fighter type kind of style that he has. I like it. Um, so I was really looking forward to this match, and I thought it'd be good, and I wasn't disappointed. It was a very good match. I'm going to give you the rundown of it right here very quickly. King went for a leapfrog, but Woods caught him in an ankle lock and transitioned to a seating double ankle lock. King slid under the bottom rope to the floor, which was ruled a rope break. Uh, Kenny King didn't like this, and Chris Coleman seemed to agree with King, and I believe I did too. Um, Kenny King slid under the bottom rope to the floor. He didn't necessarily touch the rope, so I don't think it should have been a rope break, but whatever. Uh, they called it a rope break. Uh, Woods was about to punch King in the face, but he stopped himself. King took advantage of the hesitation by connecting with a closed fist to the face that rocked Woods. King received a warning from the referee for the punch. I thought this punch looked really good. Was a nice little cheap shot by Kenny King, to play up his heel character and just get a little bit of attitude and aggression in the match. Um, so I liked it. I thought the shot looked really good. I thought he really knocked Woods out there for a minute. I mean, he popped him pretty good, in my opinion. If it wasn't a real hit, if it was a fake hit, a work hit, a planned hit, I thought that he Woods sold it really well. To me, I thought it looked like a real hit. I was like, wow, that's a good shot. But yep. King received a warning from the referee for the punch. Josh Woods shook off the effects of the blow and hit an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Overhead belly-to-belly suplex, excuse me. Woods followed with a running knee strike in the corner to score a 2 count. Woods hit GTS near the ropes, and the staggered King took a spill to the floor. Once he was back inside the ring, King hit Royal Flush and went for a cover. Woods' right arm was under the rope, which the referee ruled a rope break. King was suplexed off the middle rope, but Woods countered into a twisting superplex. King caught Woods in a single leg crab with 10 seconds remaining in the 15-minute time limit. Woods held on until the time expired. The match went to the judges. Woods was declared the winner by split decision. Simmons Khan went for I voted for Woods, while Gary Vista went with King. Simmons Khan said the difference was King using a punch to the face. Wood advanced to the B block semifinals against the winner of next week's match against PJ Black and Tony Deppen. Yeah, so this was a match. So basically, that little cheap shot punch by Kenny King is what cost him to lose this round, lose this match event, pretty much. Basically, is what they're saying. Kenny King didn't look happy. He looked disgusted. He had a gripe. Chris Cummins didn't agree, and I kind of agree. He did have a little bit of a gripe, but I mean, he did have the closed fist, and it was very, very close. Just like in there saying, if a UFC fight, never leave it up to the judges. If he didn't want it to be left up that close, he should have went for like a decisive finish. Maybe hit him again for Royal Flush right in the middle of the ring, or maybe did a little distraction with Ty Sinclair where he ripped a ring rope, or did like he was playing like he was hurt or something, and Ty Sinclair wasn't looking, and he hit Woods in the nuts, and then wrote, got a submission and choked him out or something very quickly, or something like that. Or faked like Woods did a legal shot, and where they would take points away from Woods. But it is what it is. I could see why they made the call and gave Woods the win. So anyway, whoever won, I was just happy. It was a good match. I liked both guys. I'd like to see more of them in the future. I'm just a big fan of both of those guys. So yeah, good match. And next week's rounds are going to be Black A first round matches: Tracy Hot Sauce Williams versus Russ Taylor, and the B block match, Block B is going to be PJ Black and Tony Deppen. PJ Black was formerly Justin Gabriel in WWE. But it was called the Core, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. The Core, or he was the Nexus. I believe it was the Core, but I'm not 100% sure. Memory's not that good on that. But he was in WWE for a long time. I've seen him wrestle for years. Uh, He was in Lucha Underground for a while. He was good in there. Never, I'm not just dislike PJ Black. He's okay. I'm just saying I've been crazy about him. I mean, he's okay. He's a good wrestler. He's got some good moves. Athletic. He's older now, but he's pretty good. He's okay. I don't hate him or necessarily dislike him. I'm not like a big, rah rah huge fan of his. He's okay. So there's a match for next week: Tracy Williams versus Russ Taylor, PJ Black versus Tony Deppen. Uh, all right, so that's it for this Ring of Honor review. I thought it was very good again. Another really good episode. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Look forward to next week's episode of Ring of Honor, the Pure Tournament. Uh, so, yep, that's all for Ring of Honor. Now on to AEW Dynamite from the other night. So here we go. First match we had was Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin. I thought it was interesting on commentary. I thought commentary was good the other night. You had Excalibur, Taz, and JR. I love Tony Schiavone, but even when Excalibur's there, it just seems like JR and Taz just have a really good combo. It's not as much confusion going on when it's a lot of times it's Excalibur and Jim Ross and Tony each kind of talking over each other by accident, but each trying to get their stuff in, and everybody's just a little bit confused and jumping up on commentary sometimes. And I just think I don't like three man boots. Never been a fan of it, but if you're gonna do it, I think need to do it is have Taz, JR, and Excalibur. Um, if you're going to go two-man booth, have Taz and JR, or JR and Tony Schiavone. Um, they were smart. I think they should put Excalibur, have him manage somebody, or have him do backstage work stuff because he is very knowledgeable. Um, or even have him like do video package, or even come out and explain some of the rules to the matches and stuff like that. Because I mean, maybe have him stand beside Justin Roberts sometime and have him explain the rules for the special stipulations for like special matches and title matches and stuff like that. Because he is very knowledgeable, and he can just give the interviews and the backstage stuff with Tony and Dasha. Because Tony does a really good job with that. Even though I think he's a good commentator as well. And I think having JR and Taz as your two main commentators um, is a really good job, really good. Um, Honestly, in my opinion, even Excalibur and Taz on AEW Dark together, just the two of them is good in my opinion. I just think three-man booth just really hard. It makes it hard on everybody and just hard for everybody to get their stuff in. And I think it just drags the shows down sometimes when it's not as good, not as sharp, not as spot on. But anyway, that's my enough a little bit ramble about the commentary. I just thought I'd point that out. Um, all right, so the first match was a very good match. I really loved it. Um, I just want to say too, before I start the real part, this was a very, very good show of Dynamite. I loved it. Dynamite just always puts on great, consistent shows, in my opinion. I just really loved this episode. I thought the wrestling as a whole was just really good. There was nothing really in this night I hated at all. Some reviewers I've seen a lot of on YouTube, a lot of people didn't really care for this show as much, and they didn't think the matches were that good. They said, "Oh, it was all right." I just really enjoyed it. Maybe it was just me, but I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good episode. So yeah. Anyway, on to this first match. Like I said, we have Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin. Ricky Starks and Darby Allin's been in this feud for a while now, so I was glad to see them finally get to fight one on one. You know, Darby Allin's had some tough luck lately with injuries and being on the injured and just getting banged up a lot. Hurt a lot here lately. Getting roughed up. He hadn't been able to really fight or perform much. They just been beating up on him a lot. Glad they finally got to wrestle and have this score settled. It's been a good like the vignettes and the promos leading up to the segment leading up to the fight. Even like the Darby White video packet, Darby Allin video package where he jumped off the bridge and stuff like that. Thought it was cool. And the use of the body bags and stuff that they've been doing. Uh, The bell rings and Stark slaps Darby, but Allen fires back for a dropkick that sends Ricky from the ring. Stark slides in and attempts a spear, but Allen counters with a bulldog headlock. Allen hits a modified arm dragon. The action spills to the apron where Darby hits a suplex. Of course, AEW. Um, uh, anyway, there was a suicide dive. Starks hit his head hard on the barricade. Allen gets in the ring and thinks about another doing a suicide dive, but Brian Cage comes out. Before Cage can do anything, Will Hobbs runs down and the two behemoths ball up the ramp and put the tunnel to the back. Darby's distracted on the apron and Starks yanks him and arm first on the floor and he lands hard. Starks gets Darby's back in the ring and beats him in the corners before Irish whipping him in opposite buckles. Darby fires back with a kick, then looks for a drop kick, but Starks catches a leg and applies a single leg Boston Crab. Starks keeps Allen knees and reverse curb stomps, earning himself a 2 count in the process. Allen creates some distance and hits a Canadian Destroyer for a near fall. Ricky looks to Irish Whip, but Darby catches him with the armbar and captures both arms to stop a rope grab. Starks get there anyway, and both men are down. They trade slaps on their knees, then on their feet, and Darby gets the better. At the exchange, Allen over stunner, then looks for a springboard but gets caught with a spear in midair. That was a beautiful spear by Ricky Starks. I love the way he does his spear. I think it looks really good. One of the best I've seen in wrestling. Um, Starks takes Darby to the top rope and looks for the avalanche. Rochambeau, which is a version of his finishing move, Rochambeau. But free, kicks Ricky off and hits a coffin drop for the win as Ricky Starks on his stomach. Darby Allin does the cover up. Every time he does it, it's just so cool looking. This one looked even more devastating than usual, where Ricky Starks is on his stomach. I mean, it just drilled him out in the back. I mean, landing, execution, force, height, everything was perfect when that coffin dropped. It looked so good and it looked like it really hurt. So Darby got the 1, 2, 3. I was glad Darby won, even though I like Ricky Starks too. I think Darby Allen being hurt a while, being out a while, and having just bad luck and being not a lot here lately, and been hadn't been able to get his momentum on him in a while. Um, I think he deserved to win a little bit more, and Ricky Starks eventually is going to get a lot of wins, and a loss ain't really going to hurt Ricky Starks in my opinion. Just the way he looks, he's charismatic, and the way he wrestles and carries himself, talks, promos. He's going to be a star pretty much no matter what in due time. I mean, he'll be dominating and getting a lot of wins and being big feuds. For years to come. Same with Darby. And a loss ain't really going to hurt him much. I don't believe, in my opinion. Um, uh, Cody comes to hilarious over the top entrance. I like it when I like his over the top. A lot of people don't like it, but I like his over the top entrance. I think they're just really cool looking. Bodie Lee had issued a challenge to Cody Rhodes for a dog collar match. Um, Cody Rhodes did a really good promo with Dasha Fuentes doing the interview in the ring. Dasha Fuentes, again, I gotta say it, she looks beautiful. She's one of the most hottest, beautiful women in the world. I love Fuentes. Seems like such a nice woman, very sweet and kind, and I think she's a good interviewer. I also think she's a good wrestler. Hope to see her wrestle again soon in AEW. She hasn't done anything since she wrestled in that women's tournament, women's cup, but just a little side note. But this was a very good promo. Cody Rhodes accepted the match, accepted Bodie's challenge, so he's going to have the big dog collar match next week on Dynamite. JR has said he's only called about maybe I think 4 dog collar matches in professional. Is all the years he's been in it. So uh, show you and tell you how rare that type of match is. I want to say I saw the Rick Steiner one or somebody years ago when I was younger, but I don't remember it a lot. I'd like to go back and watch the footage again. I might do that and just see what it's like. Should be. They've really been pushing Bodie Lee well, building him up well as it should have been from when he first arrived, and I just really enjoy Bodie Lee a lot more now than I did when he first came in. I always was a fan of WWE as Luke Harper. He's super talented. I think him and Cody. Even if they had just done a regular match, it would have been really good, or even just like a regular hardcore match would be really good, or a death match. World street fight, whatever you want to call it, tables match, any type of match of them, I think it's going to be good. So I think the dog collar will be interesting. It should be a good match. They can have a dog collar match, in this day and age, it's Cody Rhodes and Bodie Lee. And it'd be a good match, it'd be them too. So looking forward to that next week. Um, so after the Cody Rhodes promo during that, Bodie Lee comes out. He wears that same suit. I think it's kind of funny. I told my uncle, I believe it's the only. My uncle said, "Why is he always wearing that suit?" I believe I told him it's the only one he can afford. Yeah. Well, either that, he just really likes that one particular suit. Uh, but yeah. Um, Bodie and Cody get a big scuffle. Um, Brandy Rhodes comes down. Uh, she takes out all the Dark Order by herself. Um, because Dark Order comes out too with Bodie Lee, and Brandy Rhodes got on the top rope and did like a senton off the top rope out to the outside on all Dark Order and took them all out. Really cool. Um, a lot of people didn't like this. People just don't like Brandon Drenham, but I like this. Basically, what they did is they did that to bring Anna Jay in. Anna Jay comes in later, and her and Brandy Rhodes have a little tussle. So it's kind of bled with this segment. They kind of bled 2 stories into one. Anna Jay's feud with Brandy and Cody's feud with Brody Lee. And I thought this was still appropriate. I didn't think it was really over the top that Brandy done that to Dark Order because I don't know why more people think that, because if you remember, a couple weeks ago, the Dark Order took out the whole Nightmare family, including Brandy Rose, when they had Anna Jay take her out. Anna Jay's the Dark Order. Um, so I think Brandy not only getting a little scope for Anna Jay, but also getting to take out the Dark Order like she did. It's also she's taking up, for the family. They didn't just take out Brandy and Cody, on the a couple weeks ago. They took out, all of them. Brandy, Cody, QT, Dustin, Arn Anderson, you know. So there's nothing wrong with me with what Brandy did. If anything, I thought it was cool. I thought, she did the Senton well, especially for, I thought she done well. And of course, she's beautiful and hot. She looked good doing it. And yeah, I just really enjoyed the set, but I thought it was cool. But I'm in the minority. People just love to hate Brandon. Oh, I didn't like her. She did that senton. She got involved. That was dumb. She took out all the Dark Order. So what? I mean, it was cool. I thought it was a good spot, but whatever. I'm just a reviewer on YouTube. I'm just a fan. What do I know? Uh, yeah. So that was a cool segment. Nice brawl. The Dark Order all come out. Anna Jay and Brandy. Nyla Rose got involved. Um, believe it had stuff on Dark recently with Nyla Rose. So I believe she's going to try to get in on some action with some more feuds and fights and stuff. Yep. She had a squash match Tuesday night on Dark. I forget against who, but she looked good. Wrestling, that was one of the best Nyla Rose matches I think I've seen. Um, like I said, just really quick, a side note on Nyla Rose. I'm not a big fan of hers in the ring wise. I like her outside the ring. She seems like a nice person. Interesting. But as a wrestler, I don't care for her work. But I did see a lot of improvement in her. Tuesday night on Dark and that squash match she had, where she got a big win. I will say I believe she's definitely a step over Nia Jax for what that's worth. Um, Nia Jax has got to be the worst female wrestler in wrestling, in my opinion. Just terrible, rotten wrestler. Uh, no good, terrible. But anyway, all right, on to the next thing. I like this part too. A lot of people online didn't like this. Tony Schiavone interviews FTR and Tully Blanchard backstage. During this interview, Matt Jackson comes out of nowhere and super kicks Tony Schiavone off camera. I was watching it and talking on the phone to my cousin at the time of it happening, and it caught me off guard. And for whatever reason, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it looked good. A lot of people saying about it on the internet said, "Oh, it looked fake." People on YouTube said it looked fake. It was stupid. I don't like this angry young bucks or whatever this emo young bucks that's going on. Look, I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought Tony. I didn't think it looked fake. I thought it looked real enough. Real enough. I thought it looked real. I thought it looked like Tony sold it well. I thought Matt hit him well. I thought the kid looked good. I thought it was funny. I don't know where how they super kicked Marvez and doing the films like that. And Tony Schiavone like it, but out of no way and was kind of not speaking. And I like it. They're showing. I like this angry young side of the young. It's not a full heel turn. Who cares? I like it. It's something different. Fans and people in general just get on my nerves. And it's their opinion. Everybody's right to right to their opinion, but I just don't agree with a lot of fans' opinions and views on stuff saying, "Oh, well, I just don't like this new attitude of the Young Bucks." I mean, what do you want them to do? Everybody and their grandma complained about the Young Bucks. I mean, they come out nice. They come out acting a lot of fans doing super kicks, doing a lot of cool flips and stuff. Fans and old time wrestlers and other wrestlers in general complain. Cornette complains, saying, "Oh, I get tired of the way they're wrestling. They're not real wrestlers. They just do gymnastic routines. All they do is flip around and jump around, and they don't really hit their punches a week. They're sissies. They can't take a beatings. They don't sell. They won't put anybody over. They're selfish. They're jerks. They're cocky. This and that." Uh, so you know what? They turned got a little angry, a little bit edgier, and now they're just beating the crap out of people and not giving an explanation. I don't see there's nothing wrong with that. Nice little angry young buck, angry side of young bucks. I like it. It's good that they're knocking people's heads over super kicks and turn up. I mean, that's what heels are supposed to do. Supposed to have altercations and beat up people. AEW, I mean WWE does stupid crap like that all the time. Uh, so why can't AEW do it? Why can't the Young Bucks do it? At least the Young Bucks are doing something different. Uh, you know. So what if they're not explaining stuff? That's the whole point. WWE tries to explain everything and it just gets muddied and they don't explain stuff. I like them not explaining. I like being able to leave stuff up to interpretation, up to the viewer and the fans, and what you think's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. They keep you guessing. That's what I like about one thing I like about AEW. That's what I like about this little new attitude with the Young Bucks. It's just something different, a different side of them. People complain all the time about them, and they do a little something different. I don't like it. Well, you just don't like the Young Bucks. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. Uh, all right, so enough my little rant on that. Sorry for the long rant. Just wanted to get my opinion on that. Give y'all my opinion on that. Dash is again backstage and interviews SCU. Dash, of course, looked hot, beautiful as always, like I said earlier. Um, Sean Spears stops by and sarcastically wishes them luck. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if he's planning on joining with FTR and Tully. I don't know. It could be interesting. Maybe he might be a part of that four horsemen they've been teasing. I don't know. I think they're just teasing. I don't think it's still going to do it, but I like how they keep teasing it and just leaving you guessing. Kind of cool. I liked it. So yep, good backstage stuff. I liked all that stuff. It was good. Commercial break. Now we have AEW's Tag Team Championship match. Little FTR, I forget what they call it. Um, Brush for 20 minutes or something like that. FTR totally budget versus Let's See with Christopher Daniels. This was a very good match. I liked it. Um, Very good match. Early on in the match, FTR did a thing what made it look like Christopher Daniels interfered in the match and had Daniels kicked ringside. Tully and FTR did some cheating. Um, but the referee looking. Cash rolled to the ramp. Scorpio suplexes him back inside. Cash rolls right back on the outside, so Scorpio follows after. Sky looks for another suplex into the ring, but this time Tully swipes his feet and Cash lands on him. Then Blanchard holds Scorpio's feet. Scores the pinfall. So FTR won. So yes, it was a really good match. I liked it. FTR gave, I mean, gave FTR a really good battle. I feel like they were surprised by it a little bit. They weren't expecting SCU to give them that much of a fight. SCU's a great team. Kazarian, since he's been in stepped foot in AEW, just really been on a roll. Even singles wise on Dark here recently on a tear. So Sky and even Daniels, even though he hasn't been winning as much like he used to. When he's on his big Ring of Honor singles title run when he had the title in there, last couple of years there he was on fire as a singles competitor. Yes, he is older and looks older and his age is getting to him, but Daniels can still wrestle, Daniels can still go. Um, I've just always been a fan of SCU and all three of those guys, Scorpio, Kazarian, and Daniels. Any both of them as singles competitors are great. I think they're great wrestlers. Just have great athletic, sell everything. They just do everything well, and they don't never come up with phony. They just do everything well. Um, so a big fan of all three of those guys, tag team or single wise, whatever combination or tag team you want to put out with, whatever variation of that group you want to go with. I just big fan of all three of those guys. Big fan of FTR. It was a very good match. I liked it. FTR gets the win. Uh, all right. Now next, we have Chris Jericho for Inner Circle versus Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, and Matt Hardy. Now I'm gonna go over this match, and I'm gonna go over that. I'm gonna go over a little topic on Chris Jericho. A lot of people have been just talking about this last night, and I just wanted to give you my opinion on it. Um, uh, anyway, contrary to popular opinion, a lot of people didn't like this match. I highly enjoyed this match. I thought it was very good. Um, Yes, I agree. Chris Jericho didn't look good or strong in this match. But honestly, in my opinion, he wasn't supposed to. That was the whole point of the way he was looking. Isaiah Cassidy gave him a butt whooping. Um, most of the match. This whole match and stuff was designed to put Isaiah over, showcase him more as a singles wrestler, showcase him in Private Party more just as a whole, to give him and Mark Quinn just a little bit more, notoriety, more looks, more attention to get people talking about Private Party, singles wise and tag team wise. In my opinion, I believe it's what it was. Uh, and Jericho did that. There was a lot of times I thought Isaiah Cassidy was going to get the upset win over Jericho. I understand why he wouldn't. Jericho eventually pulled out at the end and got the win with the Judas effect, catching Isaiah Cassidy off of the springboard and off the ropes. And it was a nice spot where Isaiah Cassidy did Jericho's codebreaker and his lion salt. So that was cool. This was a very good competitive match. So I understood what Jericho was doing. Uh, I really liked this match. I thought Cassidy looked great. Just a very, very, very good match, in my opinion. Cassidy hits a float over Stoner like Darby Allin for a 2 count. Cassidy runs at Jericho and Whipple. He jumps over the ropes for him, then jumps back in and hits yet another springboard stunner for a near fall. Isaiah lands forearms against the ropes, but runs into a forearm from Y2J, who then attempts a lion salt, but Cassidy gets his knees up. Isaiah hits a lion salt, like I said earlier, for his own near fall. Cassidy hits a codebreaker for another near fall. Cassidy goes to the apron and springboards in on to get hit with Judas effect. So that was a little end of the rundown of the match, like I was telling you earlier. And Jericho, when he did Judas effect, it looked great. He drilled him. Looked like he knocked him out and looked cool. Cassidy sold it really well. So did Jericho. In my opinion, a great match. I want to say a 9 out of 10 as a match. Same with that Ben Carter match the other week on the late night Dynamite. I believe those both were 10 star matches, 10 rating matches, in my opinion. The Ben Carter match and this Jericho and Cassidy match. No, that's not a very popular opinion, but that's my opinion. I just really enjoyed this match. And as I was saying about Jericho, this whole thing with the Jericho over. I've heard a lot of people, like on the YouTube and stuff, complain. Their opinion is, why is Jericho doing all these feuds and jobs and getting all these young people over? He's Jericho. He's the biggest star in the company, one of the biggest stars in the company. He should be fighting all the big guys. Well, if he's not going to get people over, he's not one to do that and help the young guys out and give them the rub and help them out and have good matches with them and have matches with them and do skits and angles and storylines with them, then who's he going to fight all the time if he just does big matches? I mean, he gonna fight Moxley again for the title, have another title run, which would be good. I liked him as a champion. I think he should still be the champion next and have it longer. But I mean, who's he gonna face? He's just gonna keep doing matches and rivalries with Moxley all over. Uh, I mean, they don't really have anybody built up singles wise. A big star besides Moxley and Cody. Cody gets that stipulation where you can't challenge for the heavyweight title. Um, They're just now finally starting to build Lance Archer up a little bit. They haven't built up Brian Cage a whole lot yet. Eventually they will. They're just taking their time with Brian Cage. Eventually they're going to lose and tear people up. But I mean, if you think about it, besides MJF, Cody, and Moxley, who is AEW's considered big stars, Jericho going right now to have a big feud and just have a massive rivalry with and a clash and just have championship matches or really competitive matches with. Nobody really. I mean, they have the talent. They just hadn't really got put nobody else in a position yet for Jericho. Say superstar gets superstar. Uh, so I mean, if Jericho's so what Jericho, and that's a good thing. I think of Jericho. Ric Flair done it. Like I said before. People was complaining about Jericho working with Cassidy and putting Cassidy over there. Oh, it didn't really do anything. It made Jericho look bad. I mean, what is Jericho supposed to do? I mean, If he doesn't work with the top with the young guy, they say, "Oh, he's a jerk, and he don't want to put anybody over. He's a jerk, and he's not a good worker, and he's selfish and a jerk, and about nobody. He just worried about himself. He gets the Brock Lesnar label. Brock Lesnar's like that. Brock Lesnar don't have to. He don't want to work people and job people and get people over. Randy Orton, used to say, I don't know now, but they used to say he used to bury people and he used to didn't want to get people over and all this kind of stuff. And they got bad reps for years for that. And there's some people that's done that, but I can't think of anyone there off the top of my head to use as a good example. But I mean, if Jericho is not going to work against the young, he's only going to wrestle every once in a while to have big feuds with big people. He would just still get stale anyway and just get old and boring and be on every week and every other match having the same match week in and week out, just like he would if he was in WWE doing that. Um, you know, just like not really trying to compare the two, but just saying like Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. My God, how many times are they gonna have matches? I'm tired of their feud already. Uh, I agree, but they're both big stars. But I'm tired of seeing them fight each other already. Um, Jesus, go to somebody else already. Um, you know, um, and that wrestling every once in a blue moon just to get the big stars like Lesnar does. Let's be honest. People remember it's boring. Uh, Wrestler, what if Jericho did the whole Lesnar thing? Part-time schedule, only showed up once in a blue moon every 5 or 6 months. Had a little rivalry, did some video packs, did some promo, did some angles, some storylines with a popular wrestler, say John Moxley. They have a match, and Jericho beats him for the title, or just beats him down in general and stomps over him. And Jericho was to leave with the title and beat Moxley and leave with the title, and you never see Jericho again. Oh, is the champion coming back? He's doing just like Lesnar did. Why is he doing this? He should be a better champion than that. Well, people say the same thing about Brock, and Jericho doesn't, and then people go ahead on Jericho more. So what's Jericho supposed to do if he's not going to put the young guys over? What else is there for him to do? I mean, he's even said, to still wants to wrestle. Still thinks he's got a lot left, a few years left to wrestle, and he don't need the money. He don't even doesn't need to wrestle anymore. He just does it because he loves to wrestle. So I think it's a good thing. I like him seeing putting guys out when they work with him and helping the young guys out. I like it. I like this people's cast on that, but I like that he works with the young guys and wants to help put them over, and I like it. So that's just my opinion. I think people and fans for Jericho for that. Um, if, like I said, if Jericho did the Brock Lesnar thing and only wrestled the top stars, that would get old quick too, in my opinion. And he would just show up every once in a blue moon. He'd turn into Lesnar, and he'd be considered a jerk, and people do, yeah, I'm tired of Jericho coming back and then leaving and not showing up again. So I'm in the minority on this. Props for Jericho for working with the young guys and getting them over. Uh, Good for him. So, yes, I really just enjoyed this match. I loved it. 8 out of 10 match. Great match. Dasha interviewed the best friends. Uh, Orange Cassidy doing the little interview running with best friends and FTR. He calls FTR weenies. I thought that was funny. That was because Chuck Taylor, had called, I believe, best friends that, a week or so ago. So it was stupid but corny but funny. Um, Get a commercial break. Back for commercial, we have the Orange Cassidy with Best Friends match versus Dark Order. 10 from the Dark Order, Preston Vance. It was a good match. I liked it. Um, Cassidy rolls to the apron, but 10 kicks him off. 10 goes after OC and whips him into the barricade, then gets him back in the ring before he gets hugged by two members of Dark Order to mock Best Friends. Orange Cassidy then jumps off the top of him on Dark. OC gets 10 back inside and hits a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Kills up and then hits the Orange Punch and an inverted vertebrae. Orange Cassidy got the win. I liked it. Like how he did that orange punch, Superman punch a la Roman Reigns, and then he caught the orange punch, and then like the little air raid backdrop thing he did. I thought it looked really cool, like a free fall backdrop. I liked it. Uh, Good match. MJF is backstage with Wardlow, and it's a segment with him and Jericho in the inner circle. Where MJF got them all shirts, but forgot to say mistake. They kept saying, "Do you want to be in Dark Order? Do you really want to be in Dark Order? Do you want me in there?" So I liked it. It was funny. They still teasing MJF in the Dark Order. I love to see that him in the Dark Order. I mean, sorry, sorry, the inner circle. Yes, that's what I meant to say. MJF in the inner circle. Uh, I think if they added him in the inner circle, it'd make the inner circle more dominant, even more menacing and deadly and more dangerous, more edgy, and it could be more controversial. Having Jericho and MJF had each other's backs in the matches and going out for matches and just doing the promos for the stable and faction and all that. I think it's going to be really interesting and really cool. Um, I've even heard somebody post the idea of maybe Jericho Circle and MJF uh, taking over as the head member of Inner Circle. Um, that would be good too. If you, for those that don't know, MJF before he's in AEW, he got his start in MLW. He's one of the big major players there. He had a stable in MLW called faction called the Dynasty, which is still going in MLW, and I always liked that faction. Uh, MJF was the leader of that, and there's still a good faction in MLW. It was MJF, Alex Hammerstone, and Richard Holiday. They replaced MJF after he left for AEW with somebody else, and I forget who it is. They're still good, but not as good as when they had MJF in there with them. But Holiday and Alex Hammerstone is still there. They're just a great team, a great faction together, promos and matches wise and everything. Um, Especially with MJF, with them called, like I said, the Richmond Dynastic was one of their nicknames. MJF would have his pretty blonde with him. Uh, so yeah, it was funny. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for that. Want to see what they're gonna go after MJF and Chris Jericho's storyline or feud or tease or whatever that is. Don't know if it's gonna lead to a big singles rival with Jericho and MJF. Maybe it's just that, but who knows? But we'll see. I liked it. So good segment. Commercial break. Back for commercial. Britt Baker match back since the terrible match at All Out, that tooth and nail match against the Big Swole. Uh, this I really enjoyed this match. Britt Baker didn't show no rust at all. As a matter of fact, I want to say this might had one of her best matches I think I've ever seen her have. Besides that match, I think she had with, I believe it was Sheeta, where Britt Baker got her lip busted open or her nose busted open or something was bleeding, and they made a of it like a week later. I think that's the best match she ever had, and I believe this was a close second. So it was a very good match. Red Velvet, I thought she done good in this match. Red Velvet's a good talent, very talented. I watched her a lot on Dark, and she looks very good on Dark, and I like the way she works and sells, and uh, she made Britt Baker look good, and Baker made her look like a worthy opponent. Competitive match. Britt Baker, I thought looked really good, showed no rust. So a very good match for Britt Baker. I hope she keeps it up. I'm a fan of Britt Baker's. I liked Reba. She's Reba in TNA. I liked her when she was in that. I like Red Velvet. So I was glad to see Britt Baker have a really good match because she gets dogged on so much. Which I mean, she should have got dogged on for that last match. I mean, that last match was so bad, but great match by Britt Baker, and glad she had a really good match. So I really enjoyed this match. So yep. Uh, After the match, Britt takes Velvet down and applies her lockjaw finisher and puts a glove over her hand, a black glove. Thought that was cool. Um, yep. Commercial break. After that, Eddie Kingston is on the ring with Pentagon and Phoenix. He the stipulation for Moxley tonight. I mean, the stipulation he gets to pick Moxley's opponent for the title fight tonight since Larry Archer can't fight because he had been scrapped because he's got Corona. Um, Come to find out it's the Butcher. Butcher comes up behind Moxley, and the match starts. Butcher, I thought this was a really good match. I thought Butcher did a really good match. Best look. They really gave him a lot of offense in this match. I thought I liked it. Moxley really didn't do a whole lot. He just survived. Just really just took a punishment pretty much. But of course, I figured he would. Everybody in the grandmama knew he was going to win anyway. But Moxley beat Butcher as everybody would expect, as you would expect. He would. But I thought this was a really good match for what it was. To have like a feeling at the last minute, I thought it was just very good. Um, I thought Butcher did a real good job in singles. He wrestled and his big cross bodies, and he's just so big and strong and menacing and dangerous and intimidating looking. I just thought he did a really good job, and I thought Moxley did a good job, making Butcher look good, and I thought Butcher did the same for Moxley, vice versa. Um, yep. Moxley breaks free from another leg lock and hits a jumping pile driver for a near fall. Moxley gets fired up and puts Butcher on the top rope, but gets keyed back, and Butcher hits a crossbody for two. Moxley hits a paradigm shift out of nowhere, then applies the bulldog choke, and Butcher taps. John Moxley wins. Yeah, so John Moxley won. That was a good match. Um, After the match, Moxley stares down Eddie Kingston at ringside. Moxley poses with the title, and Eddie flips out at ringside, kicking the barricade before being taken to the back by Pentagon and Phoenix. So I thought that was good. This was a good match. So in my opinion, so that's my review of AEW. My opinion, this was I give it a solid 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. A great show. Um, I really liked it so much, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I believe I gave last week's an 8 out of 10. So I'll give this week's an 8 out of 10 too. Another great show in a row for AEW. I really enjoyed it. I liked all the matches. I liked all the segments, the storylines, the promos, the backstage stuff. I liked everything about this night. I really, um, even the women's match was really good. Props to Britt Baker again for having a really good match with Red Velvet. I hope she keeps putting on good matches because I do like Baker and I think she's good and talented and beautiful, and I hope she gets, especially heel. I think she's done a really good job as a heel, and she's really coming to her own. And AEW is just killing it right now. They don't need to change what they've been doing. They just need to don't listen to the haters. Keep doing what they're doing because they're killing it, in my opinion. Uh, they're so much better than WWE, including NXT as a whole. It's not even funny. Um, AEW is just killing it right now in wrestling, in my opinion. They're just doing so great. Love AEW so much. But anyway, I love this episode. Great episode. Can't wait to next week. I said this week's episode gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Great show. If you haven't watched this episode, you should watch it. I think you'll like it. If you didn't, I'll be surprised. But, if you didn't, it's all good. Whatever. Uh, so anyway, that's all for this review for this week. I'll be back with my review for next week. Um, Hope y'all give me comments and feedback. Hope y'all like my review. Hope y'all keep liking my show, supporting it. Your comments and feedback. If I can get some feedback, comments, likes, subs, just whatever. Even if you just want to private message me on Facebook and just tell me how you like my show or whatever. If you want to just tell me how much I suck, I mean, you can do that too. Whatever you want to do. Any criticism is fine with me. I just like any feedback. So uh, hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Hope everybody keeps watching and liking my reviews. Be ready to see you.